Wow, so I gotta say, the Fantastic Four First Steps was actually pretty awesome. It was genuinely a good movie. Yes, okay, I am tired of seeing Pedro Pascal in movies. I mean, this dude is literally in three movies right now. You know, he's in The Materialist as it's a love rom-com movie. He's in Eddington, which is like a thriller, a Western thriller. And then he's in The Fantastic Four, which is like an action Marvel movie. I mean, come on, man. You cannot have the same dude in three movies at the same time. It's just too much. I'm tired of seeing his face. I know I gave Freaky Tales some praise, but god damn it. But you know what? He did a good job, and I gotta say he did a good job. Probably one of the better roles he's done since Freaky Tales, even though he didn't really do anything in Freaky Tales. But I haven't seen The Last of Us, don't plan on it. Barely played the first game, never played the second, so I probably will never watch this series. But still, I am very much so Pedro Pascal out. I am Pedro Pascal fatigued. I am just get this man, give this guy a break. It was a lot of fun. It was honestly engaging. I mean, it kept me invested the entire time, and the whole cast was phenomenal as the Fantastic Four. I mean, the original 2007 one or whatnot, or the 2004-5 Fantastic Four. I was a fan of it. When I first I remember seeing it in theaters and thinking it was pretty cool, and not really caring about the effects or the story. I wasn't really in my mind of how good or bad it was. And when the Silver Surfer came on screen and Rise of the Silver Surfer, I thought it was cool too. Definitely thought all those cheesy parts were cheesy, but I enjoyed the movie, and I thought it was like a cool sequel. I think barely we had the Incredible Hulk coming, or the Hulk had already been out, Spider-Man. So I mean, those movies are all great. So I was like, give the Fantastic Four a break. It was pretty cool. But I will say, Fan Four Stick definitely was not that good. Didn't really care for it. I thought it was very cheesy. I definitely thought Doctor Doom looked cheesy. So just it was a little much for me. But I know people have talked shit on it so much that it just is. It's one of those little Marvel mistakes, or Sony mistakes, I guess I should say. But still, I remember watching that and definitely not really caring for it and not thinking it was good as its predecessors. But now with the Fantastic Four First Steps, I definitely went into it thinking I wasn't gonna like it. I thought this was gonna be some Marvel schlop that they're just throwing out, to kickstart the new phase of whatever. But I was taken aback at how much fun I had with it. They definitely took from James Gunn's thoughts on not giving their origins, not having it start out with their origin story of going into space and actually collectively getting their powers, or showing them, use their powers, as a first, oh my God, look at these powers I have moments. But it was really cool that it just drops us into their lives, what they're doing, how the public has already accepted them, seeing them as these heroes. I mean, it was just really cool, And again, Pedro Pascal did a decent job as Reed Richards. I actually really genuinely thought he was pretty good. I wish they would have just brought back John Krasinski. I feel like that would have been so much better, because he did such a good job in Multiverse of Madness of just his presence just worked. But, it is what it is. And Vanessa Kirby as the Invisible Woman was pretty great. Honestly, Joseph Quinn played a fantastic Johnny Storm. I thought he was going to be relegated to this little soy boy, but he was actually pretty cool, pretty smart, pretty still much of a ladies' man. Chris Evans, of course, is going to be all of our Human Torches, but still, Joseph Quinn attempted to light the way. And then Ebon Moss as Ben Grimm / The Thing. I don't even really know that much of what he's been in, but I know I've seen him in places. But I like that the character was so believable that it didn't, his voice didn't really matter. The Thing was just so cool, very, very classic, had the light orange tint to him. I love that he ended up growing a beard later in the film. It was hilarious, but it was just so cool. Compared to the last two iterations of The Thing, this one was definitely the best one, hands down. And then, you had Ralph Fiennes as Galactus. I had no idea he was Galactus. And then when I saw in the credits that he was, and I saw a picture of him, because I knew who he was, but I see a picture of him and I look at the picture of Galactus, I'm like, oh yeah, this is actually the same guy. So that was very cool. And then Julia Garner as the Silver Surfette. I mean, it was cool. Didn't really, I don't really have any hate against her. I thought it was weird that they were race swapping her. Might as well just bring the original male Silver Surfer back. I know that there's a female in the comics and all that, but still, why, I guess, to make women feel seen. But it is kind of funny that for her whole redemption, she just feels bad for everybody that she's killed and decides to help out at the very end. So it's okay, all right, I guess sometimes when women realize they're wrong, they come to save the day at the end. And Julia, she was just in the terrible Wolf Man movie earlier in the year, and she's now coming out soon in Weapons, this next month. So, I mean, she's also in everything right now. So they just got everybody who's everybody in this movie. I mean, I guess we've all seen Stranger Things. But it was generally an awesome movie, right? It just literally deals with the life that they're living. Now that they are the Fantastic Four, all of a sudden the Silver Surfeit comes, tells, them, your planet is marked for death. And then, they're off to the races to try to stop this Galactus. They fly out to meet him. They realize he's this giant being. They're like, we are so screwed. But of course, they're going to come together to save the day at the end. And, when they're all using their powers, it is pretty cool. But I will say that Pedro Pascal didn't really do that much. His stretching worked to climb up to Galactus, but then he almost got split. I mean, it was I think that's why I liked it. They were using their powers respectively, and they're not all that powerful, but what they did helped to collectively defeat Galactus. But then at the same time, I wished it was more action-packed, so I'm hopefully in Doomsday, they do a little bit more. But, of course, they all come together to save their child, right, from Galactus, who I forgot the name of the child already, but supposedly he's the most strongest being in the Marvel Universe. So I am excited to see what they decide to do with him, how he's going to play a part in Doomsday. Obviously, Dr. Doom is going to be trying to recruit him or use his powers. I was surprised they don't even show Dr. Doom in the movie. I mean, though he was shown in both past versions of the Fantastic Four, Doom doesn't even show up until, spoiler alert, the post-credit scene, but you don't see his face. So you still don't have any build-up to even who or where or what he is doing, because technically they all should have went up there together from what the previous movies show, and then they all get their powers at the same time. Though there was never a Robert Downey Jr. shown, not even in the clip where they're actually showing them, get ready to go to space that first time when they ended up acquiring their powers. So it was interesting, but overall, I liked the movie. I thought it was a pretty cool, quote-unquote, first steps into the new cinematic, or the new phase, which even though it's not going to be dealing with multiverse aspects anymore, I am curious to see where they're actually going to bring the franchise now, with recasting Robert Downey and bringing everybody back for Doomsday, and just, continuing on the next Spider-Man movie and whatever else it had, they want to bring out, whatever it may be. But honestly, yeah, it was fun. I generally enjoyed it, and I'm excited to see Doomsday. Hopefully it's good, fingers crossed. And then, of course, you got Spider-Man 4. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. This has been Ghost on the Craig. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.